Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Apps Every Day, and yep, we're still on the Mac here. We're going to take another stab at a Setup app, and I'm super excited, so let's just jump right into it here. I'm going to pull up my Launchpad, and today we're taking a look at Mockuuups Studio. So this is perfect if you're a developer and you're building an app, or you are, let's say, a content creator and you need a awesome thumbnail. Maybe I should start using these for Apps Every Day thumbnails. But essentially what it is kind of like the name suggests, where it is for mockups. And so make this a little bit bigger here. It's a very simple user interface, but it's basically comprised of a bunch of different stock footage and renders of different devices. So you have a menu system up here at the top. All the way to top left on the logo, you can actually see the latest updates, which is pretty cool. And then to the right, you start getting into the nitty gritty. You can choose different devices here. So if you're a Apple fan, you have your iPhone and iPad. You can also look at MacBooks. You can jump into Google Pixel type phones here, all the way down to HTC, iMac, Apple TV. For now, we're going to stick to iPhone, keep it pretty simple here. And then you can also choose if you want hands, no hands. So no hands is going to basically be a simple render in an environment, or all the way to the right here, you can choose just transparent. So these will be like a PNG that you can place in your own scenes. But again, let's say you're not very good at graphic design and Photoshop and compositing things into different scenes, and so you want one that's kind of pre-made. These sort of, device on a box with like some sort of cookie here, I can double click, bring it up. You can see that the size of everything is nice and large, so you're not going to have any sort of issues regarding resolution. You can heart things, so you can save it for later. You can also look at portrait or landscape, depending on the type of, again, mock-up or screen or whatever design you're going for. So let's say, for example, I want to get a little creative here and really like dark. So I'm going to go with this guy right here. It's very dark. This is almost like a night scene. And then what you do is come down to the bottom right. You'll see a gallery option, and I can import screens. So again, if you're a developer, you have an app, or someone like me who does content creation around apps, I took a screenshot of the Mojo app on my phone. So I'm just going to import that. And you can see that it perfectly puts it on the screen and takes care of all the perspective issues that you'd run into. Anyone who knows, if you try to do this manually in Photoshop, unless you're a pro, it's going to take you a little bit to resize this perfectly. Now, nice thing is I can hit the arrows here, and all of these different images, if I go back to the main menu, you can see my screenshot is now everywhere on here. So I could jump down to this, boom, there it is. And so you can see here's a slightly older iPhone. I could also go into iPad, for example here, and it will just resize it. You can go into the crop screen since an iPhone is taller. Maybe I want to see more of the bottom of the screen. And again, I can choose portrait or landscape depending on how I want the crop. I'm going to stick to portrait, apply crop, so now I can see more of the bottom. Now if I go back here, go to transparent, and again I can see some iPads. These look like a okay render on the previous one with a nice drop shadow. Again, huge resolution sizes here, and I can just go to export mockup, and you can see it's going to save it as a PNG right on my desktop. I could rename it if I wanted. Give that a minute, and boom, a couple seconds later, we now have a giant mockup with a ultra high res render of my screen grab. Let me go back to one of these non-transparent. I really like this. This is the type of thing I could definitely see using for a thumbnail. So again, just going to export this. So perfect royalty-free image that you can use for pretty much anything. And here's the really cool thing, again, jumping back to Setup for a minute. If we go to Mockuuups Studio's website, you can get a free version, definitely. So that's great if you just want to give this a try. But all the premium versions, if you were to bill monthly, is $10 a month. Whereas Setup is $10 a month, and you get this plus 150 or so other apps. So I know I keep talking about it. I swear they're not like a sponsor or anything. It's just like the greatest deal around, where why not get literally hundreds of the best Mac apps ever made. So a link for Mockuuups Studio will be in the top of the description down below. Accompanied right underneath that will be a set app, and that is an affiliate link. So if you use that one, I do get a small kickback. So appreciate all the support. And there you guys have it. That is Mockuuups Studio. Definitely play around with it. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys would use this software for. I'd be super interested to hear if any of you are developers or just find a way in your creative content creation to use it as well. Until then, I'll see you guys tomorrow for another Apps Every Day.